Let us start our second unit, that is differentiation. Differentiation, that means in simple words we can say derivative. See that part derivative you have already studied in 11th and 12th standard, but you had studied derivative of real valued function, getting? So but here we are going to discuss derivative of scalar fields and vector fields. So we are starting our second unit, okay, by starting this concept, that is linear transformation. Maybe you have studied this concept in paper 2, but we will recall that concept and then we'll go for next differentiation or derivatives, okay. So what is linear transformation? Basically it's a function. Linear transformation is a function. We need to have two vector spaces. Maybe you are studying that vector spaces concept in paper 2. So vector spaces is a set, non-empty set, which satisfies certain properties, okay, scalar multiplication and addition. So when we have two vector spaces V and W, and T is a function from V to W, getting? You have two vector spaces V and W. V is a domain and W is a codomain, and T is a function from V to W which satisfies two properties. How many properties? Two properties. Then we can declare it as a vector spaces. So let us see which are these two properties. So the first property is T of x plus y is equal to T of x plus T of y for all xy belongs to V. That means if addition is there, we should able to take separate addition, okay. That means you can T of x plus y, T can operate separately, okay. This is the first condition. Second condition, T of alpha x is equal to alpha T of x. That means if there is any constant, or more precisely we call it as a scalar. If there is scalar, we should able to take outside T, outside that function, okay. This is second property. For all x belongs to V and alpha belongs to R, okay. So if that T satisfies these two properties, we can declare it as a linear transformation, okay, linear transformation. So this is the definition of linear transformation. You can make a screenshot of it. After that we will go for one example of it. Let us discuss this example. See, in this example, we have a function t from R3 to R. So, domain is R3 and codomain is R, which is defined as 3x plus 4y plus 5z. So, we are going to prove this is a linear transformation. That means we have to prove this t satisfies those two properties. So, let us start to discuss. What will I do? We will discuss its first property. So, for first property, we will take two elements of R3. x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2 be two elements of R3, okay. So consider, we'll start with consider T of x1, y1, z1 plus x2, y2, z2. So what we have to prove finally? We have to prove that T of first element plus T of second element. This thing we have to prove. So first of all, you know that how to add component wise. So we will have x1 plus x2, y1 plus y2 and z1 plus z2. Getting? So after that I am going to apply the definition of T. Definition of T says this is equal to 3 into first component plus 4 into second component plus 5 into third component. I will do the same. This is equal to, definition says 3 into first component plus 4 into second component, plus 5 into third component, okay. So this is equal to, we can multiply, so that means 3x1 plus 3x2 plus 4y1 plus 4y2 plus 5z1 plus 5z2. After that, what will we do? We will collect all terms having suffix 1, okay. So see, we can write 3x1 plus 4y1 plus 5z1. After that, we will collect all terms having suffix 2. So that's why it will be 3x2 plus 4y2 plus 5z2. See, if you go back to the definition again, you can easily recognize that this is nothing but T of x1, y1, z1, and this is nothing but T of x2, y2, z2. That means initially we started with T of first element plus second element, and finally we proved that it is equal to T of first element plus T of second element. In this way we can prove that, say that T satisfies its first property. After that we will go for second property, but before that you can make a screenshot of it. So for second property, we should have one scalar and one element of R3. So let us take those two elements. So for x, y, z, this is element of R3 I have taken, and one scalar alpha belongs to R. So let us check. Consider T of alpha x, y, z. So you know that first we need to multiply. Okay, how to multiply? I will multiply each component by alpha, alpha x, alpha y, alpha z. After that we have to use that definition of T. Definition of T says 3 into first component plus 4 into second component plus 5 into third component. I will follow the same. So 3 into first component, which is alpha x, 4 into second component, which is alpha y, and 5 into third component, which is alpha z. So this is 3 alpha x plus 4 alpha y plus 5 alpha z. So we can take alpha common. So in bracket we will have 3x plus 4y plus 5z. So this is equal to alpha. This bracket is nothing but T of xyz. So you can see the definition. So this is T of xyz. So we started with T of alpha xyz, and finally we could prove that alpha we can take outside and we will have alpha into T of xyz. So in this way we have proved here T satisfies its second property also. So T satisfies its both properties. So that's why we can declare T is a linear transformation on R3. So I will declare therefore T is a linear transformation. So in this way we have completed this example. You can make a screenshot of it. After that we will stop. Thank you. Bye bye.